Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, Smith in the Black, starting off a new week and getting a little rough here, but let's take a look here. So, one of the things we talked about in the weekend vid is you're still an inside month on the SPY here, but you're red, all right? And so last week, remember, we're going to see if we can get this hammer to go 2-2 reversal. That's not what happened, right? We backed off, shooter counters hammer, 2-2-2, and unless you get a reversal, we're going to go take these guys out, and that's a long way down, right? It's only Monday, but right now starting off in a little bit of a pickle. You got here's your SPY 5 minute, and you can see you can watch them tick up and then take it right back down. Let's go to 15. And this is what you look for. You'll hear me say triangle the out. So we know that that weekly is already in trouble down into here. Then you just wait for it to pop up, two up, give you a shooter, and boom, down she goes. And so we've been watching this cluster in here to see how we're going to get out of here on the daily, right? So we were looking on Friday to see if we are going to be weak enough to take these guys. We weren't. But now we follow through, and these 3 days become an outside bar of that. You see? So this weekly is in force all week. So long as the SPY is below 427.11, you got problems, right? And you're there right now because you didn't see too many sectors going up. If you go to QQQ, and I'll get to that, all that kind of good stuff in a second. QQQ, same deal. Still an inside month, but red and getting closer. The two down, the two up, boom, 2-2 reversal on the week here. So Qs for the rest of the week are in trouble below 334.92, and we'll see how that goes. Let's get some 60s here. A little quick on the 60s, I think, but still working here, right? And once again, this stuff in here on Friday, these two were weak enough to form the outside bar of these guys. Now it's still going, right? That's a problem, right? that's a problem. So these weeklies kicking in. If you go to the Dow Jones Diamonds, the Dow Jones Diamonds here, these three become an outside bar of that. And once again, two down, two up, boom. Diamonds in trouble for the rest of the week below this. 331.33. You're there. And if that works, maybe you get that to break that inside month. You see, it's still red. So anytime these 60s go red in all time frames, you got problems. You can see right here, start off the day, two up, boom, 2-2 reversal on the 60, right at the chute. Down she goes. So these guys are an outside bar of all that. Diamonds in trouble. How about small cappers? Small cappers. The 2-2. Ugh. So IWM in trouble for the rest of the week so long as it's below 196.98, right? To see if we can expand this range continually to the downside. Oftentimes you'll hear me talk about the gap list that I tweet out and we go through in the morning, especially for newer folks who don't want to be jumping around in a bunch of different names. You just stay on the list, and 20 minutes after the hour and 10 minutes before, take a look at the 30s and 60s and see what you see, right? How are they setting up, right? So if you go to Bloodbath, whoo. So Bloodbath, you can see in the 60-minute does this. Two up, two down reversal because it's took out this previous high, and then boom, here's a reversal right there, and that's below this. 24.64. Right, that's a real nice move. Got down to 2022 over $4. Right, then if you go to a 30, see this inside 30 to the downside. Now you're gonna mind these new flip stuff in here, but you can add on that and say below 22.12, I'm in for some more. Down she goes. Then if you go to AMR, if you just went to the 60, gap up. 212 inside 60 reversal. Real nice. So if you look at that, it's below 126.66. There you go. You like $10? Boom. Thanks for playing. So right out the chute, we've known the energy's been rallying, right? And that's been the play, and they've been going hard into it. Crude is up again, slightly on the two up on the UCO. Stalling out just a tad because XLE here comes back in. So we've seen a lot of this back and fill kind of stuff, and we'll see how that goes. But one of the things they were under weighted in OIH. And OIH, they came gangbusters for this morning in a lot of names. Now backing off with the market being so weak, but you could tell that they were desperately underweighted these things, and they wanted in hard. So they came in real hard and fast, slob, 2-2 weak, but it hits magnitude by going up into there. Now we got to see if those buyers return. But here you can see triangle day out, just 2 down, 2 up reversal right out the chute, and they came real fast and hard. We'll see if that sets up again. Halliburton now coming back in, but they came fast and hard for that too. That was already a 2 up last week. Then NOV really gone in here right out the chute, and you can see the inside day, and then up, and then continuation, right? Outside week 3-2, which means the selling was getting rejected when it came back through. Still rejected, now powering up. Coming in with the market, though, so we'll be aware of that. Helmerich Payne. And Helmerich Payne, they're all looking similar here. Just had a nice move. And remember, this was the nice month right here to get in on it. 3-2-2. Then these become an outside bar of all that stuff. Now stalls out after last week's inside week to the upside. And they were really going down the food chain today, boy. Rig. They even bought Reg, albeit the 21260 reversal here. But that's what you look for. The footprints of what the big boys are doing. They came in and said, we're way underweight this OIH. We got to load up, and they did it right out the chute. If you go to run, you can see this on the daily. Outside day on Friday, right? But then they come back up through and take this out. And if that works, you're going to see this hammer. 2 down, 2 up on the month. So for the rest of the month, I want to know about run above 27.96, right? You're there right now, right? And running. If we go to the war machines, also coming in with market a little bit, but they were having a nice morning, but now they're pulling back in as this market is getting real heavy here, folks. That tells us the GDs and all that kind of stuff, but they're pulling in with the market in LHX. Here, pulling in with the market and just exhaustion risk by going into the highs. We have our old buddy INDO back up to its old shenanigans here with another runner day. So we'll see if there's anything on the shorter term. If this thing was going to go again on the 30, it'd be a 2 down, 2 back up if they want to gun this thing over 73.94. But we'll see. Market's still sinking here. Retail talked about in the weekend. Tractor Supply now backing off a little bit. Retail's getting destroyed right now, but remember that weekly last week, the 2 down, the 2 up, and then we come up here on the weekly or the monthly 2 down, 2 up. But a lot of retail's getting destroyed. So let's take a look here. If we go to the opening up plays, getting killed. Talked about that in the weekend vid. Here's Wynn Resorts, 2 up month, 2 down after the inside day to the downside on Friday, the continuation of death. Then on a 30-minute basis, you could wait for this. The 2 up, boom, 2 down. There's your triangle layout, and down to the lows she goes. How's LVS doing? LVS having all sorts of problems from the weekend vid. You see this here on the monthly. 2 up, 2 down. And all your buddies, airlines. Ugh. Inside month and down for American Airlines, United Airlines. 2 up, 2 down month, right? Having all sorts of trouble here. If you go to Delta, and Delta, 2 up, 2 down, you can see all these guys having some problems. If you go to EXPE, the 2 up, 2 down reversal month. Inside day, still going, right? TripAdvisor here on the 2 up, 2 down month, taking care of business, still getting killed after the inside day last week. If you go to RCL, how about some cruise ships? You want to go on a cruise? No. 2 up, 2 down on the month, right? Getting demolished here. You go to CCL. There's your shooter coming back down as well. If we go to play, 2 up, 2 down week, potential 3-monther after the 2-2 reversal on the day, you see? If we go to retail's getting mauled here. A lot of retail. Macy's, 312 inside week to the downside, right? Now taking out 4 months of lows. Macy's. If you go to Lulu, 2 up, 2 down on the week, right? And having a rough day coming back through this stuff. If you go to Phillips Van Peuken, inside month to the downside, right? We know about that. We sure did. The inside day takes it down. Inside month, and now just getting clobbered. If you go to KSS, and KSS getting closer to taking an inside month to the downside. 2 up, 2 down reversal, right? Inside month break would be here. 51.54. If we go to RH, RH, 2 down, 2 up on the week, and you can see this finishing off all this disaster in here, so we'll see if there's anything more comes of that. How about burritos? Burritos, inside week to the downside, which triggers the inside month to the downside. It's getting clobbered, so you can see all that kind of stuff. Then we also have got some techies. Let's go back. Oh, how about Cheesecake Factory? And Cheesecake Factory, 2 up, 2 down on the month. All right, these guys are getting annihilated as well. If we go to some financials, Capital One, oof, still getting smoked on the inside month to the downside, tells us DFS. Still going, still good. If you go to MA, also coming back through this try that we've been watching for so long, still working. 2 up, 2 down on the month. How about Visa? Visa having some issues here. If you go to Riven, inside month to the downside. Also was on the macro list. The macro list really told a bunch of tales over the weekend, but here, Riven still going, still taking care of business on that thing. If we go to tech, Facebook, Meta buddies. Ugh. Anybody else care to call a bottom in this thing? 2 down, 2 up on the week. Boom. These two be coming outside bar of that. Still going. If you go to the SMHers, SMH going after last month's lows now, having some problems over there. XLK here. XLK taking the 2 up, 2 down week, right? And you got some room to come down and take all these guys out. You can have your AMD. AMD going after the inside month, because we know we've already been watching MU. Inside month to the downside after getting clobbered on Friday by the inside day to the downside. If we go to, let's go to some scanning, because I always like to show you the scans here. So let's take a look at who is taking out last week's highs, right? So we hit volume. Last week's highs. Who is it? Rig. Exxon, gold. Letter X to a certain extent. All right. Slob, Halliburton, we know. Right. NOV. So it's all, you can see that oil services in there. Right. All that kind of stuff. And then you go to who's taken last week's lows out. Uh-oh. You got Bank of America, AMD, Apple, American Airlines, Ford, CCL, NVIDIA, AMC, Facebook, Delta, Macy's. Look at this list. See the difference? Starbucks also in the retail. So keeping an eye on all these weeklies, because last week what we did was try to inverse this thing. Like when we got Boeing going down. What I mean by that is here. There's your Boeing still in the macro vid. Inside month to the downside, still working after last week's inside day and down, right? Because last week we popped up to try and take out the weekly highs for a few minutes. We did, but then failed. Right now we are not failing. This is holding lower, right? But these levels I just pointed out on the weekly, that's going to be important for the rest of the week. Make sure that you know those, because below that all sorts of trouble can happen. All right, it's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith, Mr. Black. Strat Time Report.